Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to do some basic maintenance and oil change on a 2019 Ford Fusion. Now this is going to be an all-wheel drive titanium trim model. There's a couple different variations when it comes to engine options. This is going to be the 2-liter EcoBoost, the 2-liter turbo. First things first, we're going to get the lift into place. Now that the lift is underneath the vehicle, we're going to set our lift points, get our pads properly aligned. Now that those pads are set, we're going to lift the vehicle up in the air and get to work. After we've raised the vehicle up a little bit, we're going to do an inspection, make sure the vehicle is stable on our lift points, make sure that we are making contact at the proper pinch welds and proper locations. In addition to the visual inspection of the lift points, we're also going to shake the vehicle, make sure she feels nice and stable on the lift. Here, everything feels good, so we're going to continue raising her up. Now that we've got the vehicle up in the air, checking clearance with the top of the vehicle and the top of the shop here. And once we reach our desired height, we'll go ahead and set it down on the mechanical locks. And down on the locks we go. For some additional support, I like to use the occasional pole jack. Here, it's kind of a weird height with the vehicle, so I'm going to just brace the rear of the vehicle, basically on the rear cross member right behind the diff. So kind of a frame point to kind of add another piece or another spot of stability. Now we're going to move on to remove the under shield from the vehicle, kind of like a splash guard. This is going to be a 10 millimeter like coarse thread screws here. So go ahead and get these removed. I want to say about maybe 12, 15 total here. And then we'll take this fabric cover down to First thing we're going to remove is our oil drain plug. Here I just have 3/8 ratchet with a deep 15 mil. I believe most of these modern Ford drain plugs, F-150 Fusion, will be 15 mil for you. While that's draining, next I'm going to take a look at removing the oil filter. This is something you can remove, thankfully in this case, by hand due to it not being over tightened. However, you'll see it does kind of make a mess when it starts to drain down on this crossover pipe. Here you can start to see how messy it's becoming. Something I really need is one of those form of funnels to direct some of this oil in a way that I want it to go. Now, before we look at getting the new filter on, we're going to go ahead and do a spot clean here. I'm going to go ahead and just wipe down this old oil before prepping the new filter. And then once the filter's on, we'll go ahead and brake clean to fully clean up the entire area here. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and prep the new filter. A little dab of the oil, and then I went over to kind of the used oil section of the shop to get a little bit more to lubricate that seal. Go ahead and spin that on by hand and hand tighten that thing. This might be common knowledge, but something to help you get a little bit extra grip when hand tightening those filters is you can use a rag, paper towel. It'll kind of give you a little bit more traction when trying to spin that filter by hand. And then here we're going to put our drain plug back in. And then we're going to go ahead and torque down our oil drain plug. This is 20 foot-pounds on this Ford. Typically, I know a lot of people don't need to or don't prefer to torque down, drain plugs. However, I work majority on Hondas, Acuras that have, a bad reputation of pulling threads in the aluminum pans. So I like to torque it down just to be extra safe on pretty much every vehicle that I'm working on. Now we'll go ahead and get some brake cleaner up in the areas of the oil filter and the drain plug, clean out any dirt, debris, oil that we had there, not only for cleaning up our workspace, but also monitoring for any leaks as we go ahead and fill the vehicle. Now we're going to get ready to put the vehicle down so we can fill it up. Going to remove this pole jack. Go ahead and get this cover out of the way. This is going to be the last thing that we put back on. I like to fill the vehicle, let it run, monitor for leaks before ever putting any kind of belly pan back on. Feels like you're asking for Murphy's Law to come into play if you put the belly pan on before inspecting for any small leaks after you're done putting things back together. This specific engine is going to take 530. It's about, I want to say 5.7 quarts, 5.73. It's some weird specific quantity. So we'll go ahead and put 5 quarts right in, and then we'll monitor with our single bottle here. Something you might also have noticed with the vertical filters, I did not pre-fill. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. There doesn't really seem to be a strong consensus, across the industry. There's a big debate on pre-filling or not. So here we're just going to go ahead and put all 5.7-ish quarts in. Check the dipstick before we fire it. Obviously the level's going to go down as it fills that filter. And then something not really shown in this video, specifically here while we let the oil settle and we check levels, we're going to do kind of just a visual inspection around the vehicle here. You'll see me kind of take a look at the top of the trans, kind of looking through the engine bay. We'll inspect the air filter, and then we're taking a look around just suspension, brakes, all that good stuff, see what else requires our attention. And then here, since this is a family member's vehicle, we're taking the filter out. We don't have a replacement one here, but we're checking the current health of the filter, noticing it's a little dirty here, so we're going to recommend replacement of that. And again, just doing kind of a general look in the area that we're working in here as well. Alright, so now we're going to start the vehicle up, let it run, let the oil circulate, make sure that there's no leaks. We're going to cut the video a little early. What I'm going to do after this that you won't see is I'm going to raise the vehicle up, inspect for leaks, put the pan back on,
we'll leave it running,
and send it. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. See you next time.